Welcome back to your feel-good morning here with eXpresso. Lots of fun happening on the show this morning. We are painting all over the show, so you'll see lots of that. But it is a brand new year, and if you started off on a positive note, you are a for away, as they say. But how do you program your mind to be positive and stay that way, especially with all the changes and stresses happening in day-to-day life? Now, here to help us out is one of the world's leading authorities on the subject of mind power and personal mastery, highly sought-after international speaker, Robin Banks. Morning, dude. Nice to have you.
Morning. Thanks so much for having me, Johan. Good to be here with you guys.
What do you think about our painting and making over?
Well, certainly I felt a bit overdressed when I walked in this morning.
Well,
geez, I mean, you guys are looking like you're painting, and here I am in a suit, but it's looking fantastic. And it's also a great symbol of change, isn't it?
Exactly. Now, on that note, I mean, we are talking about positivity here to help us out, kick this year off on a good note, but not only that, looking into the future, the million-dollar question, how do you keep your mind positive in today's day and age with everything happening?
Yeah. Well, the world is going through an incredible amount of change, and my personal suspicion is that things are going to intensify, not get better. Now, a lot of people say that sounds like bad news. I think it's actually good news as well, because there's been a lot of fear around 2012. I've been so excited about this year, seriously.
So you don't think the world's going to end?
Oh, no, definitely not. Definitely not. I do think things are going to intensify, but that is why now more than ever is a time to be very conscious about what it is that we choose to create, because our thoughts literally create our reality. And most people are not aware of what it is that they think about on a regular basis. So what I'm interested in is how can you consciously choose your thoughts? So to answer your question, how do we stay positive when this environment of ours is changing in nanoseconds? Consciously choose what you're going to focus on. What is it that you choose to focus your energy on? Because if you only read the media, only read the newspaper, and only focus on what's wrong in South Africa, what's wrong in the world, you're going to feel depressed. Because what you focus on is what you're going to attract. So what I'm saying is, why not focus on what makes you happy? Why not focus on what makes you feel successful? Why not focus on what makes you feel good? And you can consciously choose your thoughts, because a quick one is that your mind can only think one thought at a time. I know a lot of people say, no, you don't know me, dude. My mind is thinking a million thoughts.
Men can only do that. Women can,
Women can multitask. Just try playing golf. But actually, your mind can only think one thought at a time. So by you consciously choosing what your mind thinks about on a daily basis, better on a momentary basis, that is what you will create. So right now, more than ever, I'm going to invite people to be conscious of what it is that you are focusing on. How are you seeing your life? Are you filled with gratitude, or are you filled with moaning and blaming and complaining?
Okay, so, but I mean, you need to actually then make that conscious decision, as you say, and I mean, I guess you need to reinforce that, I mean, throughout the day.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things you mentioned is, how do you program your mind for success? You literally do program your mind. And so what I'm saying is, I actually have a daily plan. This morning I woke up and I'm amazed at how early you guys have to wake up. These guys have to wake up seriously early. But I was up this morning and I quite enjoyed standing, looking at the moon, jumping in the moon. I have a little rebounder. I jump on my rebounder every day because it lifts my energy. And while I'm doing that, I say affirmations. That I am deeply thankful for the abundance, the joy and the love that surrounds me every day. And I repeat that over and over again because I want to focus on what I'm thankful for. So I literally program my mind every day. Most people have heard of affirmations. Most people don't use them. Most people set goals at the beginning of the year and then they look at them again at the end of the year and they think, but why didn't it happen? Because you haven't tuned into it on a regular basis. So once a week, read your goals. If you've written them down, make sure you write them down. If you don't write them down, they're not goals, they're desires. So actually look at it on a daily basis, a weekly basis, so you're constantly focusing your mind on what it is you want, not what you don't want, because whatever you focus on is what you attract. Choose what you want to focus on.
Basically, this very important starting point is start your day off on a positive note.
Most people start their year off, but not their day. So start daily.
Every day. Awesome. Robin, thank you so much, man.
Great pleasure.
We're going to be chatting to Robin lots more today, lots more into advice and, how to make this year the best year you've ever had. Stay tuned for that. Right now, over to Katlego and our musical guest this morning, a rising star in South Africa, Edith Plaatjes.
That's right, you. An international speaker, Robin Banks, is one of the world's leading authorities on the subject of mind power and personal mastery. And together with him today, we hope to help you achieve the necessary mind state that you need to propel yourself into a life of success. And earlier on, while he was talking to you, and they spoke about 2012 being a year of change, intense change. But let's talk about embracing change. How do you go about doing that?
Well, the first thing I'd like to say to you in terms of change, it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Some people are resistant to change. Some people cope well with change. But change is going to happen. And one of the things I like to say, it's never about what happens to you. It's always about how you choose to respond. In fact, I once had a situation, if I may relate the story. A friend of mine phoned me and told me that he'd just been retrenched and he was phoning me for some coaching, and he said to me, oh, he's devastated. And my very first response to him is I said, that's fantastic.
Whoa.
That's exactly what he said. He says to me, how can you say that? So I said like this, that's fantastic. So he says to me, but why?
Okay.
And I said to him, because you've been complaining about that job for 15 years. And he had been. Wow. He'd been complaining for 15 years. I said, they've just paid you to leave. And he says to me, well, I never quite thought of it that way.
That is a way of looking at it. I said to him,
think of it that way. They've just paid you to leave, which is what you've been wanting to do for ages. They've paid you to give you some support for a while to decide what you want to do. Needless to say, he found something much more suitable within 2 months, which meant he had way more excess cash. And here's the funniest thing. 2 years later, he's back at the same job in this position he actually wanted, earning more money. So what I'm saying is, honestly, it's never about what happens, Katlego. It's how we respond to change. And so change is going to happen. And so it's how we're responding. And
of course, for a guy like you, it sounds easy because you've been practicing this for a number of years. But I mean, to someone who has heard about the concept of mind power and how to control your circumstances, reacting rather than being a victim of your circumstances, how on earth do you start?
Well, the first thing I'd like to always say to people is that think of your mind as a garden of rich, fertile soil. Because any seed that you plant into rich, fertile soil, whether you plant weed seeds, potato seeds, tomato seeds, any seed that you nourish and care for will grow. And in exactly the same way, your mind is like a garden of rich, fertile soil, because any thought that you focus on, that you constantly think, the more you focus on it, it becomes your reality. I know it might sound catchy, I know it might sound about out there, but it's really true. So everything starts first with a thought. Everything. I mean, even you started first with a thought.
Yeah, that thought that my parents had back
Exactly.
then. Okay, cool,
But your mother said to your mother, what do you think?
Uncomfortable, don't go there, don't go there.
But what I'm getting at is that if everything starts with a thought and we can choose our thoughts, why not choose what we want to think about on a daily basis, where you consciously choose, how would I like this day to unfold? If I had to visualize this day, because most people wake up in reactive mode, and they wake up and they go, well, let's see what's going to happen today. Oh, just, I hope it's going to be a good day, please. As opposed to, how would I like this day to go? So I literally wake up in the morning and create my day in advance. I think about, I see myself going to the gym. I go to the gym every day. Why? Because I want to stay fit. So what I do is I choose my thoughts every day. Why? Because I want my life to go well. So I see my life working the way I want it to, my business, my relationship, my friendships, my interactions with people. So you literally create your day in advance.
Wow. And you literally plant that seed into the rich, fertile soil that is your mind.
Absolutely.
I love that, man.
Awesome.
Dude, thank you very much for the talk. You're going to be talking to Liesl a little bit earlier on. But right now, I've got a thought. And the thought I have is of this makeover that we're having in our studio. And I'm picturing it now. Liesl is going to be doing something right now. It's there, right now. Boom.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on SABC3. It's eXpresso. Now, Robin Banks is one of the world's leading authorities on the subjects of mind, power and personal mastery. He's highly sought after international speaker, traveled across the world. He's spoken to CEOs and senior managements from global Fortune 500 companies. And when you were at school, I heard a rumor that one of your teachers always told you to keep quiet. And
all my teachers.
All your teachers. And when you ran into one of your teachers a couple of years later, he said, what are you doing for a living?
And I said to him, you're not going to believe it. You know, you always used to tell me to shut up. You now pay me to talk. It's hilarious.
So you're doing what you're passionate about.
I do what I'm passionate about, and I do what's easy for me, to open my mouth and speak.
Now, yesterday I tweeted to say I'm going to get you on the show, and does anyone have any questions? And I was bombarded with questions from viewers. So I'm going to start before we get into, because I want to chat to you about energy. So Josie Bahrain, Juicy Josie on Twitter says, my 15-year-old son wants to know from Robin Banks, how does he or can he build his confidence?
Okay, awesome. Good question. Well, first of all, just a very quick one. I want to say to people that get that we live in two worlds at the same time. We don't just live in one world, we actually live in two worlds. You live, first of all, in what I call the inner world, which is your thoughts, your feelings, your attitudes, your beliefs, because that's all inside you. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm not sure what your attitude is and your beliefs. And we live in the outer world, which is our reality, what's happening to us, the world of the physical experience we're in. Confidence does not exist in the outer world. Confidence is an inner experience that you literally create confidence. You can't go into a shop and buy confidence and say, can I have a packet of confidence? So it really starts with an unshakable belief in yourself. And what I would say to her 15-year-old son is that no matter who you are, you're unique. And you bring something to the world that has never been here before. You. So stop trying to be like other people. I was always trying to conform and be who people wanted me to be because I was told I'm too loud, I'm too over the top. Now, granted, I had to learn how to channel my energy, but once I learned how to channel my energy, I could use it for what is my unique gift to bring to the world. And so confidence starts with seeing what are your strengths, what is it that you bring to the world, and to bring it with pride and bring it with confidence.
Okay, next question. Okay. KCB Kelly on Twitter says, how do you develop motivation and discipline if you're lacking it?
Okay, well, motivation, again, coming back to the inner and the outer world, motivation is an inner experience. So what I would say to Katie is, Katie, set yourself a list and see what is it that you will benefit from being motivated and disciplined. What is it costing you not to be motivated and disciplined? So what I'm saying is, find a big enough why. Why do I need to be motivated and disciplined? So, for example, why am I motivated to go to the gym every day? Because I love feeling good. I mean, I was speaking to Liesel earlier. I mean, this woman has done, she's doing the doozy, she's done the Ironman, which is seriously, seriously intense. And so for me, motivation is where you realize what is it that you get out of it. It's about living a life that's extraordinary, where you realize you creating your experience, you choosing how you want to feel. So motivation and discipline, again, is an inner world experience. Visualize yourself being motivated. I know it sounds kitsch, but it's true. Visualize yourself being disciplined. And importantly, why are you doing it? What are you going to benefit out of it? What's it going to give you? Think about the success, the joy, the happiness, the contribution you're making to the world.
Well, Robin, thank you so much. That's those three things. Success, motivation, joy. What did you use?
Success, the joy, and the contribution. Contribution's a big one. Think about how many other people benefit from that.
Well, we're definitely going to have to get Robin back in studio. You have to come and visit again.
There's so much more.
So much more to chat about. But in the meantime, how about going over to Kat and Ewan to find out more about that 50,000 Rand holiday that you can win?
Stay with eXpresso and SABC3.